YouTube is a very strange place. We're all familiar with the popular content that sits on the surface, but behind the layer of Mr. Beast videos and gaming content, there's a much more mysterious and unexplained side. Nearly 1 million hours of video are posted to the site every single day, and with that much content, there's bound to be some incredibly bizarre and even creepy stuff. Strange uploads, disturbing rabbit holes, and mysteries that raise more questions than answers. So today, I've compiled a list of some of the most interesting recent YouTube mysteries I could find, and I'll be doing my best to take a closer look into them and try to figure out what's really going on. Before we get started, I just want to say you can join our Discord, link in description, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe. It really does help out a lot. But let's not waste any more time and just get right into it. Toy739Toy is an incredibly bizarre YouTube channel with over 7,500 videos stalking a random man without him knowing he's being recorded for over 8 years. There's thousands of 5 to 30-second videos documenting this man and his work, photographing public figures and walking around public spaces, all the while he has no idea he's being recorded by an unknown person. The man sometimes looks in the direction of the camera and occasionally even seems to look directly into the lens, but he never outright acknowledges the person recording. When he seems to notice the camera, he looks kind of visibly worried and uneasy. Additionally, the videos of the man are almost exclusively shot from elevated surfaces and high vantage points, which just adds to the weird atmosphere and feeling that this man is being recorded for some unknown, malicious reason. In some discussion of the channel that I could find online, there seems to be a running misconception that the man being recorded is Japanese, although I'm pretty sure he's a Chinese man working in China. All of the events that he attends are in Hong Kong, specifically this one location, Ma On Shan Plaza, seems to appear in multiple videos. And if you thought that for whatever reason, the uploader is just recording this guy for some innocent purpose, taking a look at the shorts posted to the channel might change your perspective. There's 2 shorts posted that include the main subject of the channel's stalking, one of which is titled ON9, which is Cantonese online slang that essentially translates to idiot. Another title of a short with the man can be translated to a few animals or some livestock, so it seems like the uploader has some weird vendetta against this guy, directly calling him an idiot and an animal. So what is really going on with this channel? Countless videos documenting the life and work of this random man who seems to have no idea that he's being filmed, and then a sudden, abrupt stop in uploads. Well, we may truly never know. Working off the purely unexplained context of the channel, everything indicates that this man has no idea he's being recorded, and the uploader is intently stalking and surveilling him for no reason. Internet users have come up with a few explanations behind this strange channel, but I think the most likely explanation is probably the simplest, and that is that the uploader has some kind of mental illness. I can't really think of a good reason for why anyone in their right mind would so obsessively film someone's every move without ever attempting to directly interact with them, let alone keep it up for almost a decade. To this day, nobody knows who the person behind Toy739Toy is, or who the subject of their stalking is. There haven't been any new uploads to the channel in over 6 years, so we're unlikely to ever get any semblance of an explanation, making this one still a total mystery. Okay, this next one is incredibly bizarre and has completely puzzled me while looking into it, so if any of you have some insight into what's going on with this one, please let me know in the comments. If you search this exact phrase into YouTube, Portrait Video Nanny Canon EOS R5 plus RF85 f1.2 LDS, you get some incredibly strange and not safe for work results. What comes up when you look up this search term is a plethora of spam channels from what I think is India, with most of the videos' thumbnails being cropped screenshots taken from adult videos. The videos obviously never feature what's shown in the thumbnail because they would automatically get removed by YouTube. Instead, the videos often start with someone striking the lens of the camera with their palm repeatedly and then showing a random environment or just filming a random object. When the videos don't follow this exact format, they sometimes feature software tutorials or random clip art animations. There are hundreds, possibly thousands of these accounts, all just baiting people into clicking the thumbnails with explicit material, and then the video ends up being completely unrelated. What I find really confusing about these accounts is that they all seem like an organized network. They all do the exact same bizarre motion of striking the lens with their palm, often use the exact same screenshots of adult material as the other channels, and they all use this weird, hyper-specific search term. They're very obviously just exploiting a loophole to bypass the content moderation rules, but that still doesn't explain why these videos exist at all. There's no way these channels are generating enough watch time to be able to monetize, and they're never advertising anything or trying to redirect people off of the platform. So I'm really at a loss for why these people are making these bizarre videos and why all the channels seem to be somehow connected. The title makes no sense, the actual content of the videos is really strange. I don't know, this one is completely puzzling to me. Tonetta is a really talented musical artist with some of the strangest and freakiest music videos that I've ever come across on YouTube. He's gone through many different iterations of channels throughout his time on the platform because they frequently get banned for terms of service violations, but his main channel currently sits at just over 500 videos. His music videos feature pretty low quality audio and visuals with eccentric outfits and these masks that make me super uncomfortable. This one isn't necessarily a mystery, but I wanted to include it because his discography is more on the obscure side, and coming across his videos for the first time is definitely a trip. If you have some free time, I recommend checking his channel out, but I will say, some of the videos are very uncomfortable and sometimes really creepy. If you go down enough rabbit holes on YouTube, you'll see that the platform obviously has a problem with spam channels. The ones we have today are weird enough, but the spam channels that started popping up a few years after the site's initial launch were even weirder. There's a bunch of inactive channels that posted pop music but with misattributed titles, so we end up with videos titled Paranoid by Kanye West, and then it's actually just a Jonas Brothers song with a fishy link being advertised at the bottom. And there are thousands of these misattributed song re-uploads. What I think really happened here is whoever was running these spam channels had a huge database of popular songs, and then used some software to quickly create the videos. But somewhere along the way, the software mixed up songs that had the same title. Like, Paranoid is the title of a song by both the Jonas Brothers and Kanye, but whatever sorting method the software was using didn't know the difference, so it ended up just combining the two. The same thing happened here with the State of Shock song called Best I Ever Had, which is also the title of a Drake song. Also, if you were really curious what link these channels were trying to get people to click on, if you check the Wayback Machine, it was basically just a Hot Moms in Your Area website. This one isn't all that mysterious once you realize what's actually happening, but it definitely caused some viewers back in the day to get really confused when they were just trying to listen to some Kanye. Alongside all the regular videos on the platform, YouTube also allows users to watch some movies with ads. Most of the movies are normal, but in the official YouTube Movies and TV upload of a 1958 samurai movie called The Hidden Fortress, there's a pretty bizarre anomaly that's led to some online speculation. The movie is completely normal except for 2 frames where white text on a black background flashes on screen, first at around 40 minutes in, and then again at an hour and 20 minutes. The first frame reads, "If something's broke, you have to fix it," and the second says, "And Jack Fisk was the soda jerk." This anomaly is pretty weird, and the frames shouldn't exist in the actual film, and there's seemingly no reason for them to be intentionally placed in the middle of a film that runs nearly 2.5 hours. Some people online have speculated that the frames were placed in the film as a form of MK Ultra-esque subliminal message to control the way viewers think. If you're not familiar with what a subliminal message is, it's basically a hidden message that's discreet enough that humans won't consciously perceive it, but the subconscious mind will. So a quick flash of an image fits right into this category. If we dig a little deeper though, it becomes pretty clear that this isn't actually MK Ultra mind control and is actually something a lot less exciting. The quotes that are shown on screen, "If something's broke, you have to fix it," and "Jack Fisk was the soda jerk," can be traced back to the 2016 documentary about David Lynch called David Lynch: The Art Life.
I went to the soda fountain to get a Coke, and Jack Fisk was the soda jerk.
This documentary and The Hidden Fortress are both Criterion Collection films, and what most likely happened was whoever was timing the subtitles accidentally inserted these random quotes from the David Lynch documentary into the film, causing these weird flashes to appear on screen. Something else to add is that the flashes also appear on the Plex TV version of the film. It seems that whatever distributor YouTube and Plex TV got the movie from had some kind of technical oddity that caused the flashes, and it's probably not mind control. AAA Video is a strange YouTube channel that's been posting content to the site for over a decade, but has gone completely unnoticed until late 2025. The channel has posted over 14,000 videos since 2015, and to say their style of content is puzzling would be a massive understatement. All of these videos feature different Filipino women in front of a backdrop, holding up a sign that says their name and a number, almost as if they were having mugshots taken. They're then asked questions by an interviewer off camera and state their personal information like their name, age, height, marital status, how many family members they have, and other personal stuff. The interviewer off camera then asks the women what experience they have taking care of children and what types of food they can cook. Something bizarre that I noticed about these videos is that when asked what kinds of food they can prepare, almost all of the women answer with a scripted response that's word for word identical to the other women. And this is how every single one of the videos is structured, all 14,000 of them. This channel is obviously incredibly mysterious, so what's really going on here? One explanation, and probably the most likely, is that this is just a bizarre way that a babysitting and maid service is advertising their workers. One commenter on Reddit wrote, "It's basically maids or nannies that you can hire. Their customer base is mainly in Arab or Asian countries. It's shitty business. They tend to use any service available to advertise their underpaid or worse workers. Basically, they treat it as a shop. They advertise their socials to people who want maids or nannies, and the customers literally just look through these videos and then send the number or name of the video to them, and from there, it's just business talk." While this explanation gives us some insight into why these women are featured in the videos and giving so many personal details about themselves, I still find the whole thing pretty unsettling. This mystery is for the most part solved, but it still just doesn't feel right. In some of the videos I watched, the women are visibly very nervous and on edge. In some cases, they even sound like they're on the verge of tears. With human trafficking being such a large problem in the Philippines, it's hard to look past this channel's structure. Something about it just feels really sinister. The way they're marketing these women just feels really off. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it though. Let me know what you guys think. In 2019, Facebook user Raul Navarrete made a post about a disturbing ad, or as he called it, Anuncio Inteligente, or smart ad in English, that he had encountered on YouTube. The original post can probably explain it better than I can, so here it is. Something super strange just happened to me. I was watching YouTube videos through my smart TV when suddenly an ad appeared as usual on YouTube. I was going to skip it when suddenly I saw that the ad lasted for more than 5 hours. I was very surprised and I called my dad so he could see how long it lasted. I took a photo of it while I was waiting for my dad to arrive. The girl in the ad was talking, and when my dad arrived, she looked at him. Even my dad said in a mocking way that she was watching him. My dad and I stood in front of the television, the girl fell silent, and we felt that she was looking at both of us. We kept thinking that it was impossible for her to see us. It was not a video call or anything like that, it was a simple YouTube ad. It was simply impossible for her to see us. We made fun of how silly it sounded. The girl kept talking, but suddenly she approached the screen and started giving us something of fear and discomfort. My dad wanted to test when she looked at us and said the word monkey a few times, and the unthinkable happened. This Asian girl said monkey. At that moment, we got scared and I looked for the control to skip the ad. This post immediately got attention online, and for good reason. It's definitely a bizarre story. While Raul's story is very interesting, especially the idea that the ad was somehow interacting with them in real time, the main hang-up here is that there's literally no hard proof or evidence that this actually took place. The original post and this single image are the only things that we have to go off of here, and we basically just have to take his word for it. The only possible explanation I have for a situation like this, if it happened at all, is that Raul and his father thinking the woman was talking to them was a complete coincidence. Ads being ridiculously long isn't completely unheard of on YouTube. While it's not super common, there are documented instances of people encountering ads that are multiple hours long. So I wouldn't put it out of the question that Raul is somewhat telling the truth. I do think there's a small possibility that they actually did encounter a really bizarre 5-hour-long ad, and then somehow the timing synced up where it seemed like the woman in the ad was repeating their words. I don't know, that's a really big stretch, but I do think it's a small possibility. No one else has come forward saying they've seen the ad in question, and the attached image is actually kind of a case of unknown media. No one knows where this image came from or who this woman is, so the story of Anuncio Inteligente is still pretty much a mystery. If any of you guys have theories about what really happened here, or if you've encountered a weird ad like this before, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, because I really don't have a good explanation. shinywr is a YouTube channel that is probably trying to upload the longest YouTube video ever. Earlier this month, people all across social media started to notice a bizarre video being recommended to them. The title is a question mark, the video has no thumbnail besides the YouTube error thumbnail, and the video is apparently 1,234,567 hours long, or 140 years. Seriously, it's displayed on the channel that this video is 1.2 million hours long. When you actually click the video though, it seems like you can only play it for around 12 hours. Their YouTube About page links to a Wayback Machine link of a YouTube playlist, including a video that's supposedly 1.7 billion hours long, but the link is unfortunately broken. The playlist description says that YouTube keeps taking the video down, which honestly doesn't surprise me. If you take a look at their community posts, you can see that they're really enjoying the attention from this bizarre channel. They make posts taunting people that say the account should be banned, post screenshots of confused commenters, and other stuff like that. I personally think it's pretty cool to see YouTube's capabilities pushed to their absolute limit, but it's obviously ruffling the feathers of some people who are calling for the account to be banned. Let me know what you guys think. On the official White House YouTube channel, there's a video of a past press conference with Trump and Netanyahu. The video is generally a regular upload, but if you turn on the closed captions, you'll notice something strange. Literally none of the words being said in the actual video align with what the captions are showing, and are actually from something completely unrelated to the press conference.
Abraham Accord, something that was really an achievement that was, I think, going to become more and more important because we achieved the most significant Middle East peace agreements in half a century, but the Abraham Accords in particular, and I really believe that many countries will soon be joining.
For whatever reason, someone has manually overridden the captions of this press conference with the transcript of an internal government training video from the Division of Corporate Finance, specifically about their rollout of sensitivity labels on files sent between workers inside the agency. The transcript of this meeting explains how to send and label files properly, particularly sensitive files that include non-public information. If you haven't realized the irony already, this internal briefing was literally about how to make sure that non-public government information doesn't leak. Yet, the entire 7,000-word transcript was accidentally posted publicly to YouTube on a video that currently sits at around 375,000 views. There's a few theories as to why this happened. Obviously, someone with privileged knowledge or access to internal government briefings overwrote the automatic captions with the transcript. but whether it was intentional or not is still a subject of debate. What's most likely, in my opinion, is that someone inside the agency accidentally copied the captions SRT file from an unlisted video that was being used for training, and it now sits on this public press conference. Other users have speculated that the government did this intentionally as a campaign to make citizens believe that federal agencies are incompetent while they secretly create covert infrastructure to control everyone's lives through martial law. The latter is obviously a much more extreme theory, but I do find it odd that the captions are still up and have been public on this video completely unchanged for almost a year. If this was truly a mistake by a worker inside the agency, why hasn't it been fixed in over 11 months? Regardless, it's pretty crazy that the official White House YouTube channel leaked a private transcript about how to not leak sensitive information. I think this entry is super bizarre and confusing, so if you guys have any insight into how and why this happened, let me know in the comments. If you've done some digging into weird and obscure YouTube channels, FlorecitaDreams might be a name that you're familiar with. FlorecitaDreams is a Latin American YouTube channel that's been posting some incredibly cryptic and bizarre content since 2008. Their videos are very strangely edited and often low quality, very reminiscent of early YouTube meme culture and shitposting. Most of their videos seem to be weird just for the sake of being weird and have no relation to each other, but the most common themes are distorted images, esoteric and cryptic symbolism, and just general absurdist parody of internet culture and sometimes religion. A good majority of their videos use a Spanish text-to-speech system called Loquendo, which you might have heard at some point. Going through their videos, you'll find such classics as iCarly.net Nickelodeon Nico Nico video. Rare Japanese Fear Part 1. And of course, Kaito. Some people speculate that the account is some form of ARG, but there's not really any interactive element. There's a few references to existing ARGs on the channel, like for example, at one point they used the photo of the Arata's face in a video, but they don't have any actual connection to the ARG, and I think they just like the cryptic aesthetic of ARGs for their videos. Some people online say that one of their uploads was a compilation of shock images with vaporwave music, but the video obviously doesn't exist on the platform anymore, if it existed at all, and there's not too much evidence that it existed. I wouldn't put it past the uploader to post something like that though, as there are videos still up on the channel that are pretty much the same format but with less shocking images. So what's really going on with this channel? Well, in my opinion, this channel is just an art project, and it's not hard to understand why it's freaked out so many people over the years. The videos are super cryptic by themselves, but when you add another layer of a language barrier between English and Spanish, the videos become basically impossible to make sense of. Over the years, a lot of English-speaking internet users have played into the mystery of the channel, and the idea that there's something deeper and more sinister going on here, but I can say pretty confidently that it's just an internet-based art project. They haven't posted a video in almost a year, and I hope we get some more uploads because I honestly find myself enjoying some of these videos, even if they are really strange. On November 7th, 2025, Reddit user SevereGrocery5072 made a post to the r/internet mystery subreddit about a network of disturbing YouTube channels they had come across. The title reads, "Obscure corn-related YouTube rabbit hole revolving around specific people," and the body of the post reads as follows. Months ago, someone posted on here about a channel named I Want to Die, which had posted consistently the same two videos with different filters around 2017 to early 2018, being the Little Baby ice cream commercial and a British PSA about CP. The titles all mention the following: chatterbait model, kinky little couple, people are dying, plus seemingly insignificant numbers and letters. By doing more research, I found a couple other channels which are likely ran by the same person doing a essentially the same thing, except also with other edited clips, mostly from JJ the Jet Plane, and some old PSA about child abductions and videos of animals, still spamming the kinky little couple username over and over in the titles and descriptions, sometimes with corn tags. The post links 4 different accounts all connected to each other: I Want to Die, Tim Franks, Kinky Little Couple, and Ben Knox. These channels all have similar styles of content, with the first and most concerning channel, I Want to Die, only posting 2 kinds of videos. The first type of video they post are these hue-shifted variations of this random British PSA about child abuse. These videos are repeatedly posted across all 4 channels, with some of the channels additionally having heavily distorted clips of children's TV shows with the text, I'm watching you now, or he's watching you. The most unsettling video, though, are these edited versions of the Little Baby ice cream commercial with a hue-shifted background, and some of these videos contain audio that says the phrase, Clementine, kill her. If we do a little digging into the username that's spammed in the titles and descriptions of these videos, we'll find that it's the username of a now inactive couple that made adult content together on the internet in the mid-2000s, but decided to file DMCA takedowns of all of their content, and what's especially disturbing is that the woman's name is Clementine. We'll also find a Pinterest account of the same name with the username Stop Abusing Young Girls that bizarrely has a saved collection of 112 photos of monkeys, guinea pigs, and other animals. We can also find a WordPress website with mentions of the username that's even more bizarre, filled with distorted text and creepy stock images of old people and scary masks, as well as a Vimeo account that posts videos of color-shifting solid images. This collection of accounts across platforms is incredibly strange, and the targeted threats towards this Clementine person are pretty concerning. Whoever's behind these accounts is obviously making an intentional effort to be cryptic and threatening, so what are we supposed to make of all of this? Well, there's one uncomfortable truth about these channels that's impossible to ignore, and that is the obsession with children, more specifically child abuse. Across all of the YouTube channels, there are appearances of this random PSA about the illegality of sharing CSEM, and their Pinterest account has references to CSA and the abuse of young girls. All of this, coupled with the bizarrely edited clips of children's TV shows, paints the picture that whoever's behind this account has a strange obsession with children and abuse. Another observable obsession this person has is with this random couple that made adult content that very clearly doesn't want their explicit videos to exist on the internet anymore. The way the content on these channels is presented, I feel like it's a real possibility that this person is some kind of obsessive stalker. One popular theory is that these accounts were actually run by the original kinky little couple themselves, and all of this strange online activity is their attempt to cover up their online past. By filling up keyword searches of their username with all of this cryptic stuff, it's possible that they could be trying to filter out archives of their adult videos in web searches. And the fact that they filed formal DMCA takedowns also adds to this theory. The other, and much more unsettling theory, is that the person behind these channels has zero relation to the couple and is actually an obsessive, dangerous stalker that has a creepy infatuation with Clementine. The final theory is that this entire thing is just some ARG or art project, which I honestly don't buy, because most ARGs have a clear interactive element or try to tell some overarching story or narrative, and this just doesn't fit into that category at all. I honestly don't have a conclusion for this one. This collection of channels is incredibly bizarre and unsettling, and it's very unlikely that we'll ever get an official explanation for who is behind all of this or why they did it in the first place. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. To understand what this entry is talking about, we first need to understand what Webdriver torso was, which many of you have probably already heard about if you're watching this video, but I'll just explain it anyway for the people that aren't familiar. Webdriver Torso was a YouTube channel that from 2016 to 2019 posted just over 620,000 videos. This number of uploads, especially in just 3 years, is obviously insane, but it gets even weirder when you look at the content they were posting. Every single one of the uploads was a slideshow of different images of blue and red squares, accompanied by beeping noises. Of course, internet users immediately went crazy with speculation, saying the videos were hiding secret encoded messages by intelligence agencies. Other people said it was a recruitment strategy by Cicada 3301, and some people even said the channel was connected to aliens. Google eventually came forward and put all the speculation to rest when they said it was simply a test channel run by YouTube themselves to test the site's upload quality. The mystery behind Webdriver Torso has long been put to rest, but over the years, thousands of similar channels have popped up on the site with very similar content. Each of these channels posts thousands of videos featuring random shapes and bizarre audio, seemingly for no reason. And while we know what was going on with the original account, a lot of these copycats are kind of mysterious in their own way. Just like the original, these channels post with no explanation day in and day out with these bizarre geometric patterns and grating audio. While it's possible some of these channels are used for the same testing purposes that the original Webdriver Torso was used for, the sheer number of channels and different variations in content makes it pretty much impossible to come up with an overarching explanation. There's also obviously the possibility that a good handful of these accounts are just started as a way for people to clout chase and get some attention off of the original mystery. Whatever's going on with these channels, it's pretty weird to see that years after Webdriver Torso stopped their consistent uploads, there's still hundreds of copycat channels chugging along, posting equally bizarre content, all with their own mysterious intentions and purposes. I Already Heard You is a bizarre YouTube video that was posted on October 1st, 2015 to the channel Corner Fellas. The video is a very short clip, only being about 26 seconds long. The video starts out with creepy reversed audio as the camera zooms in on a rubber duck inside of a plastic container. It then cuts to what is essentially a slideshow of selfies of what I assume is the uploader with iMovie transitions. The video then ends with 2 black and white selfies and this really weird noise. A Reddit user searching for answers about what this video is and why it was made said, "The video itself just bothers me on so many levels. I'm not really one for getting spooked by videos, but the video just being utterly nonsensical really does make it unnerving. The strange zoom in on what looks like a duck plushie in a plastic cabinet with the heavily warped and distorted audio, followed by the images of the guy. The last few images of him genuinely do unnerve me because I would honestly hate to think, given the imagery of what looks like a blood smear and the final image being the guy looking presumably either incapacitated or something else, that this video has been hiding something dark for the time it's been on YouTube." Other commenters on the video itself think that the uploader is actually a murderer and that the guy in the video is one of his victims, and in my opinion, this is all nonsense. I don't think this video is hiding anything horrible and is almost certainly not the work of a serial killer, and is probably just some guy that tried to make a weird, edgy YouTube video to freak people out. If you look at the beginning, you can see there's a golf wang sweatshirt in the drawer above the rubber duck, and in one of the selfies, I'm pretty sure the guy can also be seen wearing a golf wang hat. Putting all the context together, I'm pretty sure this is just an Odd Future fan in 2015 that tried to make a creepypasta-style video to freak people out. The video is coming up on its 10th birthday, and the channel has been completely silent since this original upload, so it's really unlikely we'll ever get an official explanation of why this video was made. In my opinion though, I think it was just a cheap attempt at a creepypasta or weird artsy video. X7Q5A96 is a name that you might have heard before if you're interested in internet mysteries or just weird stuff online in general. Around a year ago, people across the internet reported getting push notifications sent to their YouTube inbox suggesting that they watch a channel they had never watched or interacted with, called X7Q5A96. This was already strange enough because it's pretty much unheard of to get these kinds of push notifications unless YouTube is rolling out a new feature or you're subscribed to a channel with notifications on. But it gets even weirder when you take a look at the channel's content. The channel has 47 videos with posts as recently as 3 weeks ago, all featuring abstract and surrealist visuals with creepy audio and video titles that seem to be random numbers and letters. This style of content is pretty common on the platform, especially for weird artsy channels, but the rabbit hole goes even deeper when you take a look at the comments. There are thousands and thousands of commenters all saying weird spiritual and pseudo-religious stuff about frequencies and how all the viewers of the videos will transcend because they're the chosen people. It's honestly hard to say how many of these comments are bots, because a lot of the accounts are really convincing, and whoever's behind this would need a pretty sophisticated bot network to pull off something of this scale. The videos apparently transcend language as well, because nearly every other comment is written in a different language from around the world, but still talking about how the video was spiritually calling out to them and an unseen force pulled them here. Users online speculated that this channel might have ties to extraterrestrial beings or be some kind of modern number station. The amount and variety in theories was pretty much endless. This is all very strange, and if you do some more digging and Google the name associated with the account, you'll come across a website of the same name. And upon scanning the site, you'll find that it's advertising NFTs. Yeah. This entire channel and all of its content isn't actually the work of aliens or communicating encrypted secret messages. In reality, it's just some dude trying to get you involved in a crypto rug pull. So, the entire thing is an ARG, and the only interactive element is that you get finessed out of your money. The truth behind this account is definitely disappointing and immediately kills the mystery, but there are a few things I'm still curious about. Firstly, I honestly have no idea how the channel was able to dupe YouTube into sending these push notifications recommending the channel. And before I looked into this kind of thing was completely unheard of to me. I've never heard of YouTube suggesting random channels to users that they have no history of interacting with, even in the case of people using targeted ads to increase exposure on their videos. I find it really strange that they were able to do this, so I'm wondering if any of you guys have had an experience with something like this happening. I also find the comments of the videos really creepy. Even if they are all bots, it definitely took some effort to pull this off with this many accounts, and with the variety of comments, the whole thing just feels so culty. I don't want to waste too much time talking about this one though, because it really is just a shady crypto scheme, so let's just move on. Cryptlease is an obscure YouTube channel that, at the time of making this video, has only 85 subscribers and 2 videos. Both of the videos on the channel are pretty interestingly titled. Their first upload is called Biking Across 5 Countries to Evade a Felony Charge, and their second is titled Bikepacking to Escape the Police. The videos have no music or narration, and instead have manually written captions explaining the journey that this person is taking, attempting to evade the police while traveling on bike across Europe. Without giving away too much information about the uploader's whereabouts, I can say confidently that at least the first video takes place entirely in Romania, starting in Bucharest and then moving to the Romanian countryside. All the while, every part of their travels are documented on video. There's clips of them encountering stray dogs, searching for water in the scorching heat, interacting with locals, swimming, and other situations they find themselves in along their journey. In my opinion, the videos are actually pretty beautiful. They have this nice amateurish atmosphere and almost poetic storytelling in the captions. I quite enjoyed my first watch through of both of the videos. It's unclear what crime the uploader might have committed, so all we can really do is speculate. Running from a felony charge does sound pretty serious, so I'm kind of dying to know what they did. Some commenters have said that it's possible the uploader got in trouble for a marijuana charge, as it's a pretty big deal in Europe compared to the States, but this is really all speculation and doesn't have a lot of merit. Then, there's the possibility that the owner of this channel didn't even really commit a crime at all, and is simply using these titles as a way to put an interesting angle on their adventures, which is honestly more likely, but who's to say? Either way, I think this is a really cool channel, and I hope one day we can learn more about the uploader and his adventures, but they've gone completely silent for the last 2 months, and it's unclear if we'll ever get an update, so this one is still pretty much a mystery. And that's gonna be it for today's video. These weird, obscure mysteries are always really interesting to research and talk about, so if you want to see more videos like this one, let me know in the comments. Like I mentioned in the intro, if you haven't already, make sure to join our Discord server if you want to chat with us and other viewers, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.